What's going on, everyone? I hope that things are starting to slow down a little bit for you, that anxiety is starting to calm down, and that you're really starting to take this moment, this break of being so busy and being able to spend time with family, being able to spend time with God, being able to spend time with yourself, to better yourself, to read, to learn, to just really breathe and understand everything is going to be okay. And as soon as the ban gets lifted, as soon as the quarantine ends, that you hit the ground running, and that you've seen, hey, life can change at any moment. And there's no time to waste to run into your calling, to run into what God has envisioned for you, to run into what you were created for, to stop wasting the time and just the status quo, the day after day, and that you're just wasting the gifts that God has for you, because he has something special for you. So I challenge you, hey, take this time and learn, better yourself, get closer with God, and just be ready to hit the ground running. And so I was thinking this morning about what should I speak about? And I kept thinking about vision over visionary, vision over visionary. What's more important, the visionary or the vision? And I think a lot of times people get real caught up with the visionary and not the vision. The vision will be there long after the visionary's gone. The vision is going to keep going. You can't kill the vision. You can't kill the idea. You can kill the person, but you can't kill the idea. And a lot of times when you kill the person, the idea spreads even quicker and becomes more powerful. You see this in the Bible. The idea, the vision, the concept is important. And the best person to cast vision was Jesus. He did this for his 3 years in ministry. The kingdom of heaven's like, the kingdom of heaven is like, the kingdom of heaven is like. And who was he casting it to? His disciples, the people that he spent the most time with. And those 3 years, I think a lot of people, they think Jesus was with the masses so much, that Jesus was just in the crowds of people all the time. He was with his disciples. Like 90% of the time, Jesus was with his disciples, and there was only like 10% that he was with the actual crowds, the actual masses, because he understood, I gotta take these 12 ragtag guys and I gotta cast this vision to them, and I gotta make it so simple and so clear that when I leave, they walk in it, they run in it, and they spread it to everywhere. They just spread it. And a lot of times we can get so caught up in the visionary. But Jesus was like, the vision is more important than the visionary. I'm not going to be here. And when I leave, this should spread even more than what I've done. Jesus had 12 members, 12 people around him. He was caught up in the 12. He wasn't caught up in the masses. He wasn't caught up in how big can I build this. Jesus could have the largest organization, the largest church, the largest business ever. He could have had it. But he knew, no, let me cast a vision to these 12 so that they can run in it, because the vision is more important than the visionary. Now, I'm not saying Jesus is not important, but Jesus understands that if you can catch the vision, you can run in it. You can change the world. That's why before Jesus ascends, he gives them the Great Commission. And he says, go make disciples of the world. And I think a lot of times we can take disciple and make it this holy, like this glorified word, where disciples meant students. He was saying, take what I've taught you and go teach them and make them students of me. Go teach them what I commanded you. What I taught you, you teach them, and so on and so forth. Jesus was like, the vision that I casted to you, go cast that vision to them. And go paint the picture so that they can start changing the environment around them. That's what the disciples did. They started going out and casting the vision. They started painting the picture for the people and teaching them exactly what Jesus taught them. And a lot of times we get so caught up in the visionary that we lose the vision. And right now, church has changed. It's not this normal tradition of you meet on Sunday at 10 or 11:30 or 12:30 or 8 o'clock, whenever your church met, and there's a structure to it. Music, tithe, music, altar call, sermon, all these different traditions that we're used to, and people can freak out and people can lose their connection with God because they were more caught up in the visionary than the vision. Pastors are having to do it different right now. They're having to be strictly online because they understand we're trying to help the environment, we're trying to help our towns and our communities heal and not spread the virus. And so they're doing it differently. And people can get real caught up though and get real stressed and be like, I just gotta wait for the next message. I gotta just wait for the next thing from this visionary. No. This visionary should have taken this whole time to cast a vision to you of what Jesus called us to do. He called us to go make disciples. He called us to go change the world and make it look like the kingdom, and to walk in your calling, to walk what God's called you to do. Before Jesus gets arrested, he prays for his disciples and he's like, thank you, Lord. Thank you for giving me these 12. Thank you for letting me teach them what you taught me. Share the words to them that you've given through me so that they can go and share those words with them, and that they're prepared for what you destined them to do, that they're prepared for the calling that you gave them. Jesus knew, hey, we're all called in a different way. We're all going to have a different ministry. But if we all have the same vision, we can reach the world. We don't preach the same. We don't teach the same. We don't have the same people that we connect to. But if we have the same vision, we can reach everyone. And I think a lot of times people get so caught up with just the visionary and not the vision. And they're so worried about when's my next message from this person that, hey, the person that you're supposed to be the most connected to is not here. He's not on earth. And he's casting a clear picture to you of what you're called to do every day. But you have to be connected to him. And that's what a minister does. He connects you with the main king. Right? That's why Paul writes, hey, we're ambassadors of Christ. He's saying we all come from one king. He gives us the vision. He gives us the mission, and we run in it and we cast it to everybody else. It's not about the visionary. It's about the vision. And I think in this time, really spend your free time with God. Connect with him. Read his word. Start studying. Start learning for yourself. Don't get so caught up in the visionary. Get caught up in the vision. Learn what the vision was. Learn what Paul was talking about, what Peter's talking about, what John's talking about, because they got it from God and they're just sharing it with you. And they're saying, you go share it with everybody else. Keep on going. We're going to see in this time span what churches has made disciples and what churches have made members. So many times churches can get caught up with members. How many members do I have? Not how many disciples do I have? Not how many leaders do I have? Not how many people are running in the calling that God has for them. It's about the members of that organization. And that was not the vision that God had. He wasn't worried about the members. He only had 12 and one betrayed him. And he changed the whole world because he knew that the vision was the most important thing to teach. So take this time and learn the vision that God has. Learn what he has. Learn what his mission is for you. What is his calling that he has for you? Get connected to him. Don't worry so much about the structure of the church or the organization or any of that. Worry about, what has God called me to do? What has he called me to do? Why am I not sharing messages? Why am I not sharing teachings? Why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing that? Why am I not doing what God called me to do? Don't get so worried about the visionary. Get connected to the vision. That's what he's wanted for us. That's why the church grew so quick, because the disciples understood the vision. They understood what they were supposed to do and how they were going to do it. Hey, they knew they were going to do it in different ways, but they did not stress. They weren't jealous of each other. Hey, you think about it, the disciples could have been really jealous of Paul. He wasn't even one of them, right? He wasn't with them at the time with Jesus. But did they get upset? Did they hate on Paul? No, they don't. Because they know we're all going to do it in different ways, and Jesus called us. And we just, as long as he's casting the same vision that the Father shared with us, we're good. We're on the same road. He's just going to teach it to different people, and he might teach a different way. But as long as his vision is clear and his vision is the one that God casted for us, we're good. And a lot of times people can get so worried about, where are my members? Where do they go? Who are they listening to? They get so like, it's mine. I need them. I can't lose them. They're not yours in the first place. Jesus makes this clear when he's praying to God in John 17 about his disciples. He says, thank you, Father, for giving me these 12. They were yours, and you let me borrow them while I was here. You let me cast vision to them. You let me paint the picture. And he's saying, thank you for giving them to me. He didn't say, these are mine and no one else can have them. He wasn't worried about that, because he knew I've casted perfect vision to them. And they're about to run in it because I'm not going to be here. That's why in this time when the church isn't the same like it's usually, like it's not the status quo, it should be growing, not declining. When the visionary leaves, the mission should spread even further. The people should have taken it and they should have started running in it. That's why you need to be raising up leaders and not members. How many leaders do you have? How many people understand the clear vision of what we're called to do, and they're running in it, in their lane? And so that when you're gone, it spreads, it grows, it gets even bigger than when you were here. Because that's exactly what Jesus did. As soon as he left, the church grew way more than it did when he was there. Because he understood the vision is what I need to cast to them. So people, take this time and study and learn and catch the vision that God has for you. How are you going to go out and share the vision that Jesus wanted us to share? In the Great Commission, he says, go make disciples of the world. Go give them what I commanded you. Go teach them what I commanded you. Where are you sharing what Jesus taught? Where are you sharing how he wanted us to make the earth look? Where are you sharing it? How are you sharing it? What are you running in? Are you just waiting for Sunday just for a pastor to come and preach? And you're like, hey, I did my duty, I'm good. And I got a little bit of grace until Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or whenever the next sermon is. And then I go, and then, it just keep on the status quo of tradition. You're not going and catching the vision and then you're running in it. Doesn't mean you push somebody to the side or just disobey people or just be like, it's all about me now. It's I'm sharing the vision in the way that God told me to share it. I'm starting this, I'm running this, I'm starting to build this way. It's gonna be completely different for everybody. But you have to understand the vision. So take this time, learn, study, get closer with God. Don't worry so much about the visionary, worry about the vision and catch it and run in it. I hope everybody just relax and is at peace and that they hit the ground running when this quarantine is over. I pray for protection and peace over everyone. I pray for healing, and I pray for grace and mercy and joy just takes a hold of you, just like Jesus prayed for his disciples. Let my joy become a part of them. But and Jesus had his joy when he was out sharing the vision, when he was out sharing what God directed him to do, what God, his Father, commanded him to do. This is when Jesus was at his joy. This is when he was there. And he's saying, I hope they get this. And he's saying, what they're called to do, let my joy be with them in it. So please get that joy, get that mission, and catch that vision. God bless.